The assistant is Engineer Michael Ngala, the Assistant Director in charge of Accident Control at Kenya National Highways Authority. And with me is the officer in charge of Accident and Highways Unit, Alehu, SSP Gishoi, and also the Station Commander OCS for KeNHA Police Station. This lorry has been detained here for about a week now. It had an overload of 28 tons instead of the legal weight of 26 tons. It was found carrying 54 tons. So that's an overload of 28 tons. And it is not the only lorry that is doing that. We have impounded several others which we have also charged in court, among them this particular lorry. We are also engaging with the courts so that they can help in the enforcement of the law, so that the offenders get the maximum fines that are stipulated in the law. Like this lorry, which had an overload of 28 tons, is due for a fine of 400,000 Kenya shillings on the first count, and on the second conviction, it is double. So that means if this lorry is impounded again on account of overload, it will pay double the fine. So that will be 400,000 if it exceeds by 10 tons. This is subject to the Traffic Act, but also we have the EAC Act, which is prevalent on other network, although the Thika Garissa route where we imported this lorry is under the Traffic Act. One other issue we have, challenge we have with the trucks, is the liftable axle. We have vehicles, especially the trailers, that when they move on the road, they lift one axle, and that is illegal. They are not supposed to operate a fault axle, a suspension system mechanism, and that is illegal. When that vehicle is carrying the load and one axle is up, it means that the other axles are actually bearing the load. So it causes both axle and gross overload. And we want to appeal to members of the public to be able to assist and join the war on control of overloading. Where these vehicles are getting materials and all that, we expect members of the public, and we encourage them to be able to liaise with us so that we know and we can nip in the bud this kind of practice at the source where the materials is being sourced. This way will help to protect the roads from the material sources. The public have got a right to enjoy safe and comfortable roads when they drive. And they are also supposed to enjoy roads which are not dangerous. When vehicles drive on the highway while loaded, they are difficult to control, and that's a source of risk, a source of being unsafe for our members of the public. We wish to say that the station has been supportive. This vehicle was detained as it goes the court process, and we expect that once the process is through, the owners will be able to comply, and the vehicle will be released once the court process is through and the excess load removed. So I would like to also encourage the OCS, the OC in charge of Alehu, to also advise on the public and what measures the police service is taking to ensure that we don't end up in such a situation like this. We have faced several challenges with maintenance of the Thika Garissa road, and we would want this to reduce so that we also save on the cost of maintenance. So when transporters carry less weight, which is within the law, then the damage that it translates into the road becomes minimal. And we are able now to have roads lasting over longer periods of life. So, OC.
Thank you very much. My name is John Gishohi. I'm a Senior Superintendent of Police, Officer in Charge, Axle Road Enforcement and Highways Unit, under the Commandant of Traffic, but basically attached to Kenya National Highways Authority to help the authority in enforcement of Axle Road enforcement. The reason why we are here is because the last 1 month we had an accelerated activity to ensure that we deal with the overloading trucks that are on our roads. During that 1 month, we managed to nab over 50 trucks, and To be precise, about a quarter of them are within this very short road that covers from Masiga to here KeNHA and then to Thika. There were about 15 trucks that were nabbed having overloaded. Particularly this one, this was amongst the last one that was nabbed, having an overload of 28,300 kgs. And then what that requires is that the road will take its course. We shall take that the vehicle to court for the offenses of overloading, and also for an offense of where, because the truck was being used on a road without having displayed the registration plates as required. And therefore we are waiting for the due process of the court to take place. And after that, as the engineer has said, is that after that it will be required that the road will be reduced to the required level so that the truck can be released. So that is where we are. I just want to talk to those people with those trucks, or the businessmen with such trucks. In that what we are doing is we are trying to curb overloading on our roads. And if you are caught up on the other side of the law, then the law, we let the law take its course as required. And therefore, we want to tell them to do honest business. And they should also be mindful, knowing that that road is their office. And as you cannot let other people come misuse your office, therefore, we, as the authority, also we cannot let them misuse the office that has been bestowed onto them by the authority, is that the road is meant to assist the general public. So that is the reason why we are here, to ensure that we do what is exactly needed to ensure that we get rid of overloading or unscrupulous traders from our roads. Thank you very much. Said that majority of these trucks that are deliberately overloading, the drivers and their conductors have been removing number plates. This is to ensure that when they are caught up with by our teams, basically we are not able to identify them at first place. Then, as you realize, along the Thika Garissa Road there is a virtual web registration that it is not manned, but we are able to, using the CCTV cameras that are installed on that system, we are able to know the identity of vehicles. Now, having removed the number plate, we are not able now to identify the vehicles. But as like this vehicle that has been detained in the station, what we normally do if the vehicle doesn't have registration plates, we normally involve our office, counterparts at Directorate of Criminal Investigation. We do tip lifting, and once the tip lifting is done, using the chase's number, we are able to liaise now with NTSA so that we can be able to get the identity of the owners of the vehicle.
We normally conduct patrols through our mobile weighbridge units, and we also have a virtual station at Yatta, which is what is informing the truckers to remove the number plate so that we don't identify them from the cameras. But we have also we're also having a partnership with the NTSA so that we are able to identify these vehicles so that we can actually prefer necessary charges to the owners, and we often do that. Apart from the mobile and the virtual stations, we are also intending to develop a new station here near KeNHA here to be able to help us monitor this other side and reduce the overloading near the source of materials. That way we'll be able to afford the road a longer life period as per what we have in our designs and all that, so that the technical details that we provide at maintenance and construction stages are all fulfilled. When the vehicles overload the road, they actually reduce the lifespan of that road, so it does not serve the longevity of the life that we expect as technical experts. The county government has actually banned the sand harvesting But you see now they sneak and go into other areas where they are likely to escape the dragnet of the county government. So we expect the county government to actually follow up that those places where the harvesting of sand is banned, they actually monitor them. We also call upon NEMA to play their role by actually ensuring that those who violate the bans on sand harvesting are actually apprehended and charged. So if we do a concerted effort from all the agencies, then we'll be able to reduce the effect of overloading on the road. We'll reduce overloading and also the effects.